Here at Game Nights, we're all about celebrating family. And today, this family just added 2 new members.
What's up? I'm Ned from the Try Guys. You may not know this about me, but I'm a huge Magic the Gathering fan, and now I'm here to give it all I got.
And we also have an MTG streamer who's a real cool cat.
Hi everyone, I'm NessaMeowMeow. You may recognize me from Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, or various other platforms, but today I'm here on Game Nights.
We're playing with the brand new cards from Magic's latest set, Streets of New Capenna.
So this is a plane dominated by 5 crime families.
The Obscura, gifted magicians that puppet the streets from the shadows. The Maestros, old money vampires that specialize in art theft and assassination. The Riveteers, these are the destruction crews that built New Capenna and can tear it apart just as easily. The Cabaretti, high fashion party druids that'll rope you in and convince you to keep the party going. And the Brokers, a demonic law firm taking advantage of people in need, and in exchange for their help, just a small favor.
It also has a really cool roaring 20s Art Deco Gilded Age vibe, which is why we're all dressed up, because if you're gonna do something, we figured you gotta do it right.
So the commander I'm playing today is Jolene, the Plunder Queen.
Another bank falls victim to Master of the Heist, Queen of Capers, Jolene, the Plunder Queen.
I mostly picked it because of the song. This is a smash and grab deck, because whenever someone attacks my opponents, they get to grab a treasure. But when I get treasures, Jolene makes extra. So this deck is loaded with treasure makers and aggressive creatures to keep the plunder going. Then with all that loot, I can play out some huge finishers or just pump up Jolene to handle the job personally.
My commander is Jinnie Faye, Jetmir's second.
Meowza! Jinnie Faye is hitting the town and taking the fashion world by storm.
My commander lets me replace any tokens I would create with cats or dogs. But let's be real, they're gonna be cats. So my deck is packed with token makers and token doublers to help build a board full of kitties. Throw in some ferocious feline synergies and you've got a perfect recipe for a truly epic tale.
For this game, I'm bringing the Beamtown Bullies.
The Beamtown Bullies, building a better New Capenna by breaking the old one down. Paid for by Riveteer Construction Company, your only option.
This is a reanimator deck with a bit of a twist. My commander gives creatures to my opponents. So I want to fill my graveyard with creatures that punish my opponents when they enter the battlefield or benefit me when they show up across the table. Plus, those creatures get goaded, which means my enemies are going to be bullying each other, leaving me on top of the heap.
And I'm playing the pairing of Bjorna and Elmar.
Dynamic duo, terrorize New Capenna. We've never seen stranger things. But first, do Avens make better flappers?
This deck wants to cast multiple spells each turn to make the most of Elmar's ability. So it's full of clue makers and cantrips to keep my hand full of cheap instant speed spells. With a grip filled with gas and a board full of pingers, I plan to outvalue my opponents, then goad them into submission.
All right, time to get bullying.
The claws are coming out.
Jolene's here to steal your man.
Say hello to my little friends, forever.
Welcome to the table, everyone. As always, let's reveal our New Capenna Ultra Pro themed playmats.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Well, Ned, Nessa is your first time on the show, so we all know what that means. Nessa, I dub thee, Sir Nessa. Arise.
Thank you.
And Ned, I dub thee, Sir Ned. Arise.
Huzzah!
Welcome to Game Nights.
Only one may stand.
Everyone ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Draw a card for turn, and I will play a Windswept Heath,
Cool.
and I will immediately crack it. I'm gonna go to 39, and I'll find a Taiga, and that'll come into the battlefield untapped. And go ahead, Jimmy.
All right, draw my card for the turn. I will play a Verdant Catacombs. I'm gonna crack it, going to 39. I'll find a Bayou, and that'll come into the battlefield untapped. And then I'm gonna tap the Bayou for green and play Ignoble Hierarch. All right, that's gonna do it for me. Pass to you, Ned.
Very fancy.
Very.
I will draw. Cool, all right. And I will play Mosswort Bridge with Hideaway. So I'm gonna look at the top 4 cards in my deck. I'll choose one of them, the rest will go on the bottom. Okay, so I'm looking at my 4 choices for the Hideaway card, and there's one that I think is gonna be pretty useful later. It's kind of like my break glass in case of emergency card. So I'll hide away this card. The rest will go on the bottom.
All right, all done?
End turn, yeah.
Okay, I will draw for turn. I'm gonna play a Wooded Foothills.
Ah.
I will crack it immediately. Going to 39. And I will find a breeding pool, which will come to play untapped. So I'll take 2 more and go to 37.
Zap.
And then I will tap the breeding pool to play Utopia Sprawl, targeting my breeding pool.
Ooh.
I love it.
And I will name Blue. So it taps for 2 from now on. And then I will pass the turn, Nessa.
All right, let's draw for turn. I'm gonna play a command tower, and that's actually it for me. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, okay.
So at this point, everyone has started to do things, and I don't have anything to do until next turn, so I'm sweating it a little bit.
I'll untap, and I will draw my card for turn. I'll play my land, it's a mountain, and then I will tap 3 and cast Cemetery Tampering. I will look at the top 5 cards in my library.
It's a lot of hideaway. This is the most hideaway in any game base ever. Already.
Cool mechanic.
I will put 4 of the cards on the bottom of the library, and I'll put this card under Cemetery Tampering. This is a brand new card from New Capenna. My deck is already trying to dump cards into the graveyard, so I'll definitely be able to cast the card for free. That's value, baby! And I'll pass turn to you, Ned.
All right, I'll untap my bridge, draw a card. Oh, nice. Play my land.
Ooh.
And I'll tap both lands to bring out my treasure map. Jolene, the Plunder Queen, needs a map to find her treasure.
So just looking at Ned's commander, we know that it's probably Treasure Tribal. And I can't think of a better card in the deck than this treasure map. Because eventually it'll flip over, and then he'll be able to turn all the treasure he's created or creates into card draw. Seems pretty good. I like card draw. I don't know if you've heard.
All right, end of turn.
All right, I will untap. I will draw. I am going to play Exotic Orchard, and then I will cast Academy Manufactor.
Treasure, apple, clue.
Oh. I can't overstate just how powerful this card is in Josh's deck. Normally he's only making clues, which are just okay, but now every single one of those clue tokens becomes a food token and a treasure token. It's gonna pay him huge dividends in the long run.
All right, and that's it. I will pass the turn.
Okay, let's draw for turn. I'm going to play Boseiju, and I'm gonna go ahead and Kodama's Reach.
Nice.
Nice.
So I'll find a plains and a mountain. The plains will come onto the board tapped, and the mountain will go to my hand. And they're both beautiful new basics.
Ooh, yeah, they are.
They are. Yeah, see? That's how they talked, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, see?
Yes. See? The best part about this Commander game so far is not just the cards, it's the attitudes that everyone's bringing to the table, see?
This is New Capenna. You wanna make it in these streets? You gotta talk like this, I guess. See?
Go ahead.
All right, I will untap. On my upkeep, my Cemetery Tampering will trigger, and I may mill 3 cards, so I will. And then I will draw my card for turn. I'm going to tap 3, and I will play the Raminep Excavator.
Oh.
So I can play land cards from my graveyard.
Pretty good when you're milling like that.
Very helpful.
So Jimmy's off to just the perfect start, I think, for his deck. He's got ramp, he's got his main plan going with the mill, and now he can turn that mill basically into card draw, because the ability to play lands out of your graveyard is as if you drew those extra lands, right? I mean, see?
So I will play a Verdant Catacombs out of my graveyard, and then I will pass turn.
That
seems pretty good,
That's
yeah.
good. All right, I'll untap, draw a card. I'll play a forest, and I will play Dockside Extortionist.
Pay up.
When it enters the battlefield, create X treasure tokens where X is the number of artifacts and enchantments your opponents control. I kind of feel like my hand is being a little forced here. I'd rather be saving this guy for later when he can make a lot more treasures, but I feel like I just gotta go.
So I have 1.
I have 2.
None.
So you make 3 treasures.
That's right.
Pretty good with treasure map.
Ned only makes 3 treasures off of this. This is actually a little surprising because it's not the most value you can get out of a card like this. Typically, I thought you would wait a little bit longer, especially seeing that Josh has the Academy Manufactor out.
I'll tap 1 green and activate my treasure map. Scry 1. Do I want this? I don't need that card. I'll put it on the bottom. And my treasure map gets a landmark counter. 2 to go.
So which one has 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, I might want to keep these treasures around, but I'm just gonna go ahead and sack them all
Nice, let's go.
and play an Academy Manufacturer.
Treasure, apple, clue.
That seems pretty good. So I don't like seeing this from Ned, even though I have the same card. I feel like his is probably gonna be a little better than mine. He's way more likely to make a lot of treasure all at once, and I'm gonna probably be more fair where I make like 1 clue token per turn or something like that, because it's more scary long term. All done? Mm-hmm. Okay, I will untap, draw for turn. I'm gonna tap for 4. I'm gonna float the blue. I'm gonna use 3 on my commander. Elmar, Uvenwald Informant. Just an Innistrad citizen hanging out in New Capenna here. I have 2 commanders, but this one's kind of the most important because untapping things is a big sub-theme of the deck. And also clue tokens are just good on their own, right? You can always draw cards. Whereas my other commander is more of a payoff, and I have many payoffs in my deck. So getting this plan going, that's the first order of business. So I'm floating the blue. I will use that blue to cast Peek, which is an instant I can look at target player's hand and draw a card.
Knowing Josh, I don't think he cares about the effects of this card so much as he just wants to be able to cast that second spell on his turn. That way he can get his engine going and fill his hand back up. Cheap spells for the win.
On that cast, before I look at anyone's hand, Elmar will trigger and I will investigate. But because I have Academy Manufacturer, I'll actually make a clue, a treasure, and a food token.
Oh, gross.
I think get used to that since both of us have this.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then Peek will resolve. And I'm gonna choose to look at your hand, Ned.
Oh, okay.
Mostly because you're right next to me, it's easy.
Stealing trade secrets.
It's scary over here in Ned's hand, holy crap. What is he even talking about?
Yeah. He's bluffing, ain't he?
All right, then I will draw the card. And then Elmar does have haste. I will go to combat and Jimmy, 3-2, coming at you.
I will not block. I will take 3 damage and go to 36.
Commander damage.
Commander damage.
See?
See?
Unlikely to matter. And then I will pass the turn. Nessa, go ahead. At the end of this turn, I'm feeling really, really good. I have the main part of my plan set up. So now next turn, I just have to play the payoffs and take advantage of having all that stuff. So I guess you could say that I'm in charge of the table right now, see?
Everyone else is doing a lot so far. They've cast a lot of spells, got some pretty good value engines going on, and I've done a whole lot of nothing, but I think I have something that can deal with this. And it looks like to me that there's a lot going on, too much value, so I'm gonna put a stop to that.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
I'm gonna tap all my mana.
Is it Vandal Blast?
I'm gonna cast Cleansing Nova.
Oh.
Get rid of all artifacts and all enchantments.
No!
Come on.
Oh my goodness. Typically you wait a little longer for board wipes, but looking at the board right now, this is just devastating.
It's going to get rid of my tokens, my Academy Manufacturer. Like, this is gonna set me back basically a couple of turns. It's horrible.
Okay, yeah, I guess it is going to resolve.
That is bad.
Ned. Your Great Furnace also gets blown up, your land.
So I'll lose that too.
Oh no!
That doesn't feel good at all.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. I'm so screwed, not only because I lost all my good stuff, but I lost a land, I'm already behind on land, and I lost my only source of red mana. I have no cards in my hand that I can play next turn. Oh no, that's horrible.
So I thought I had it bad, but we kind of realized when the dust settles here that Ned had an artifact land on the battlefield. So he's down to 2 lands.
That feels so bad for turn 4 on Commander.
I mean, I was feeling bad for myself, but I feel worse for Ned.
Nessa, you just put a target on your back.
I didn't realize your land was gonna get blown up. I'm
It's
so
okay,
sorry.
it's okay, this is fine, this is fine.
Not really.
It's easy for you to say, Jimmy.
I'm so sorry, Ned. I really wasn't trying to blow up your land. I was just trying to put everyone at the same level again. Sorry.
Oh god, I'm so screwed.
And that's the end of my turn. Go ahead.
Well, at the end of your turn, Nessa, I will crack my Verdant Catacombs, going 35. I will find a Blood Crypt. That's gonna come to the battlefield tapped. I will untap and draw my card for turn. I will go ahead and play that Verdant Catacombs right back out of my graveyard, thanks to the Raminap Excavator. All right, I'm going to tap for 4 and cast the Beamtown Bullies.
That's cool.
All right.
You might look at my commander and go, oh, I'm getting a free creature on my board and it's gonna swing at someone else. That seems pretty good. Here's the thing. I'm gonna give them some creatures they wish they could refuse. It has Vigilance and Haste, so Nessa, I'm gonna swing at you for 5. It gets +1/+1 because of Exalted on the Ignoble Hierarch.
That is fine. Well, I don't have any creatures, so I'll take 5. And I'll go to 34.
All right, that's gonna do it for me. Pass to you, Ned.
All right, I will untap my 2 lands.
I'm sorry.
Draw a card. Play. I have 1 colorless land.
Oh, there you go. You're fine. You're
not so
thriving. You're thriving.
Not so bad. You're thriving.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Nessa, I can't do anything. Because I don't have any red mana, I can't make any plays this turn. I'm just gonna wait until next turn when I get to draw a card again, and hopefully I draw a red mana. This isn't exactly how a winning game starts. All right, Nessa, I'm attacking you for 1.
I accept the consequences. I'll go to 33.
That'll alert her.
Oh God, this is so bad. This is so bad. All right, pass.
Wow, Ned is really feeling the punishment here. He doesn't have a red source, and he doesn't even have the mana to do anything else on his turn. That really hurts.
Okay, I will untap. I will draw. I am going to play a Misty Rainforest as my land for turn.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna go to combat. Nessa for 3.
I'll take 3 and go to 30. Like I said, I accept the consequences.
Yep, I am not apologetic. All right, I'm gonna tap 3. I'm gonna play Jory N, Ruin Diver.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
So what does my deck want to do? Cast multiple spells in a turn. What does this card do? Draw me cards when I do that. It's awesome. Then I'm going to crack my Misty Rainforest. Going to 36. And I'll find a Steam Vents, which will come into play untapped. So I'll take 2 more. Going to 34. And I will tap that Steam Vents and cast a Soul Ring.
Oh, look at you go.
Because that's my second spell, there will be 2 triggers. I will draw a card for Jorian, and then Elmar will create a clue token and untap himself.
Nice.
I guess, yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. Nessa, go ahead.
Wow, I thought it was gonna take longer for Josh to recover, but it looks like he's just right back on his game plan. He's got another combo piece out, he's drawing more cards, and he's doing everything his deck seems like it wants to do.
Okay, untapping. Then I'll draw. I'll play Castle Ardenvale, and then I'm gonna play Fabine, Boss's Confidant, one of the new cards.
Ooh.
This card seems mostly harmless. It's going to actually give them things back instead of taking things away. So hopefully the card draw is gonna mend some relationships, and I get to start making some creatures. Up until now, my board's been pretty empty.
Hey.
That's great for me.
That's
I
great for
take
you.
things away, but I also give things.
All right,
Nice.
we'll see.
I'm gonna go ahead and go to combat, and Fabine's Parlay triggers.
Okay, so we all reveal the top card of our library? Well,
For each land card revealed this way, I'm gonna get a 1/1 citizen creature.
so you get 2, because 2 lands were revealed?
Yes. And 2 of the parlay cards are non-lands, so all my creatures will get +2/+2 until the end of the turn.
Oh, and the tokens have haste?
Oh God.
And then we can draw those cards.
All right.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna send 1 at Josh and 1 is going at Ned.
Oh my God, Nessa. You're like kicking me when I'm down here. Oh, if I get a chance, Nessa is going down.
I don't want to lose any of my creatures, so I'm not going to block. So I'll take 3 and go to 31.
Okay, I'll take 3 and go to 37. I have no choice.
That's true. Man, that card is good.
Every turn she's gonna make more,
Yeah,
parlay.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good, yeah.
And that's my turn, go ahead.
All right, at the end of your turn, I'm gonna crack my Verdant Catacombs, going to 34, and I'll find Ziatora's Proving Ground, and it'll enter the battlefield tapped.
Cool.
All right, I will untap all of my stuff and go to draw my card for turn. Okay, I am going to tap for 3 mana and cast Jeska's Will.
Oh.
Spooky.
So who has cards in their hand?
I have 5.
I have 6.
3, 4, 5.
So Nessa, I'll target you and get 6 red mana for the cards in your hand, and then I'll exile the top 3 cards of my library and I can play them this turn.
Oh boy. So what you're hoping for when somebody casts Jessica's Will is that they flip like 3 lands off the top of their library. They're gonna get the mana, you can't really stop that, but if they don't get a lot of cards, then maybe you're okay.
And those cards are Bloodstained Mire, March of Reckless Joy, and Soul Ring.
All pretty good.
All pretty good. Now these aren't the cards I was looking for, but I still get so much value here. I can play the land, I can play the Soul Ring, and I still have that 6 red mana to do with whatever I want. So I'll spend 1 of the red mana to play Soul Ring. So I have 5 left. I will play the Bloodstained Mire. I will then tap for 4, and I'm gonna cast Whip of Erebos.
Oh.
My commander lets me give all the bad things to my opponents, and the Whip of Erebos lets me bring back all of the good stuff. With these 2 cards together, no matter what ends up in my graveyard, I'm gonna have access to it in every single way that I want. Now all that's left is to fill up my graveyard. And then I'm going to crack my Bloodstained Mire, going to 33. I will find a Taiga.
Cool.
That enters the battlefield untapped. And then I still have 5 red floating. I'm gonna spend 3 of that red to cast a Wheel of Fortune.
Oh.
No. I see the Wheel of Fortune come down and my heart stops. All my awesome plans are gonna just be thrown out the window. I'm in a panic.
You know, I was sort of into these cards, but I couldn't play any of them, so. Jimmy just played Wheel of Fortune. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna lose all of my good cards, whatever. I get to draw 7 beautiful new cards. You gotta tell me one of them is gonna be a red mana.
All right, so everybody discard their hand, and then we will all draw 7 new cards.
Out of 7 cards, I have 1 land. But it's a red land. Yes! Yes! We're back, baby!
Because of my commander, you're gonna wanna know what creature cards are in my graveyard, so I have a Dockside Extortionist and a Bold War Heavyweight, and an Anger.
Okay, I also put Anger in my graveyard, just so everybody knows.
Yikes. Almost out of nowhere, both of them now have Anger in the graveyard. I'm really worried because all their stuff has haste and they can immediately use their tap abilities. They're going super fast. I need to catch up.
All right, I have 2 red mana left from Jessica's Will, so I'll use that to cast Cathartic Reunion.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna discard a Stomping Ground and a Rampant Growth, and I'll draw 3 cards.
So now you're out of floating mana?
I'm out of floating mana, right.
Finally.
With my last red mana, I will tap my Taiga and cast Faithless Looting. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards.
It's almost like there's a graveyard themo going on over there.
I will discard a Skull Prophet and a Seaborn Muse.
That's bad.
So Jimmy's just churning through his deck, and he is really putting a lot of things into his graveyard. He has so many options. He's definitely in the lead now, so we gotta watch out for him.
All right, I'll go to combat, and Josh, I'm gonna swing at you with a Beamtown Bullies. Again, it gets +1/+1 because Ignoble Hierarch gives it Exalted.
And it has lifelink because of the whip?
Yeah.
Dang. Well, I don't want to lose my creatures, so I'm just going to take 5 and go to 26.
All right, I will gain 5 and go to 38. And that's gonna do it for my turn. I did not cast this March of Reckless Joy, so it will be exiled.
Okay.
All right, that's it for me. Pass turn.
All right. So I'm gonna untap here, draw, and then I'll play Spine Rock Null. It has Hideaway again. Wish I had an untapped land, but what can you do?
More Hideaway.
Okay, I'm looking at the 4 choices, and I got one of the best cards in my deck. If I can get to it, my deck is going to go off. And I'll choose this one, and the rest will go on the bottom.
Okay.
And then I will tap 2, play 3 visits,
Nice.
and I will find a Taiga. And that comes in untapped, which is huge, because now I have an untapped red mana.
Woohoo!
Wow. So with my remaining 2, I will tap them both and play Goblin Engineer.
Oh, nice.
So I will search for Phyrexian Triniform, and I'll put it into my graveyard.
Well, that's bad.
So this card being in Ned's graveyard makes me feel like we're in for a rough game. If he can get that card back out using the Encore ability, he'll have a body going at each of us. And when those die, they're gonna turn into even more bodies, so this is not good. Luckily, I don't think he's gonna have enough mana for that for a while.
All right, so now I gotta keep track of what's in Jimmy's graveyard and what's in Ned's graveyard. Let me tell you, I'm gonna forget about it. All right, all done?
Yes.
Okay, on your end step, I will crack my clue token to draw a card.
Okay.
And then I will untap and I will draw my card for the turn. All right, I'm gonna start by casting my other commander, Bjorna, Nightfall Alchemist.
Yeah, cool.
All right, so my second commander is here, and I think the goat effect is gonna be particularly good in this game because of what Jimmy's deck's trying to do. He's gonna give scary stuff to my opponents, and I'll be able to keep that stuff from coming at me. I need to cast a second spell to trigger my things. So then I'm going to pay a blue and a colorless, so I'll have 1 floating, and play Snap.
Snap.
Because that's the second spell I cast this turn, I will draw a card from Jorien.
Sure.
And then I will make a clue token.
Yep.
And I will target Elmar to untap itself, even though it's already untapped. And then Snap will resolve. I'll bounce the Fabine.
Okay, Fabine will go back to my hand. Whew.
And I will untap my steam vents and my breeding pool.
Jeez.
And then mission accomplished, I found a land. It's a command tower.
Nice.
And then, with that one floating, I'm going to play Basilisk Collar. Now, do I want to equip the Basilisk Collar? It's a pretty good threat. I would love to equip the Basilisk Collar right now, because when I attach it to Bjorna, it means that she has Death Touch, and now instead of goading things, she will just kill it outright. But it does cost mana to do that, and I have something a little bit more impactful I think I'd like to play right now. And then I cast Rhystic Study.
Oh, come on.
So I know the responsible thing to do is to pay the man and not feed the Rhystic Study, but I'm behind. I kind of need all the mana I can get.
And then, oh, I suppose I should go to combat.
Hold on, Josh, I'm the bully of this town. As you go to combat, I'm gonna tap my Beamtown bullies, and you're gonna go ahead and get the Boldwa heavyweights.
Oh, come on.
And when it enters the battlefield, each opponent, not you,
Oh, man.
gets to search their library for a creature and put it onto the battlefield.
Any creature?
All three of you get any creature out of your deck?
Any.
But what do I get?
An 8/8 trample that is goaded.
A cool creature.
So I was worried originally about Jimmy giving creatures to my opponents that would then have to attack me because of the goad, but this is worse. All my opponents are gonna get the best creature out of their deck onto the battlefield right now, and I get nothing. I get this 8/8 trample that I won't even be able to keep after this turn. Thanks, Jimmy. Okay, yeah, so that comes on to my, have fun everybody looking for cool things.
Right. Everyone gets the tutor.
Wow. Not everyone, technically.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Everyone but you gets the tutor. I love this because I get to look through my library and get the best creature card out of my deck onto the battlefield immediately. Now, the other players get to do that as well, but here's the thing. I'm giving them a present, so maybe they'll be nice to me with it.
I honestly didn't have that many great choices since all of my big cost spells are not creatures.
This is incredible! I'm like a kid in a candy store.
I think I gotta do that one.
And I think I know just what I'm gonna choose.
All right, so everybody reveal what they got.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I got Rin and Sari inseparable.
Yay, cats and dogs.
That's not bad.
I got Balefire Dragon.
Well, that's bad.
And then Ned.
I have the Blightsteel Colossus.
That's not good.
Look at the Blightsteel Colossus! Let's go!
Whoa, I was not expecting Blightsteel Colossus. I thought we were just playing with cool creatures like dragons and cats and dogs, not Phyrexian menaces. Oh boy.
Hey, Ned.
What?
We're like cool, right?
We're like buddies, right?
Cool, see?
Yeah.
Cool, see?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Infect is a mechanic where you deal your damage in poison counters. If you get 10 poison counters, you automatically lose the game. So if they don't have the right blockers, my Blightsteel Colossus could come in and be a kill shot.
I have a token deck. I don't have big creatures like them.
Things just got complicated. Okay, so the Boldweir heavyweights are goaded. I must attack with them.
Here's the thing, Josh. If you attack and it dies before the end step, it dies again, and I could potentially give it to someone else and give you another creature.
No, hell no, I don't want it back in there because I don't have crazy creatures in my deck to get, man.
It's really a devil's bargain.
What am I gonna get? Like a 2/2 that untaps something?
That'd be cool.
Next to a Blightsteel? Yeah, so, I'm sorry, Nessa. But also you destroyed all my artifacts. I almost forgot. So I'm not that sorry. Attack it for 8.
Okay, I'm gonna take 8 and go to 22.
Ooh.
And then we will move to my end step. And because of the Beamtown Bullies, the Boldweir heavyweights will exile.
Yep.
And then I'll pass the turn.
Okay, let's go ahead and untap. Draw. I'm gonna tap 3 mana to bring out Jinnie Faye, my commander.
All right.
Nessa's building out her engine now, and I think the most important thing she can do is put out some blockers. Because that Blightsteel is really scary. If you can put some creatures in front of it, you really do mitigate just how powerful it is.
This deck is about to make a lot of kitties and doggies, and I'm ready to get started.
Rhystic Study trigger. You gonna pay the one?
I can't pay, so no.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna tap 4 mana, and I'm going to cast Release the Dogs.
Who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out? Dude, he was like this.
I was so excited.
Been waiting to sing that song on game nights for 5 years. Are you serious? Probably.
I've been waiting to do this for a long time on game nights. Really? So that is not a dog spell, but you do get to make 4 1/1s, but you get to decide now if they're 2/2 cats or 3/1 dogs.
Oh, wow.
So since I'm not Nessa Woof Woof, I'm gonna go ahead and make 4 cats and release the cats. I just made cats. Who let the cats out? Why are we singing about dogs? Can't we sing about cats instead?
Who let the cats out? Meow, 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 meow.
Who let the cats out?
Meow, 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 meow.
And again, Ristic Study trigger?
Nope.
All right, I will draw. Thank you. Okay, well, you got an army of cats and they got haste.
They do, but I'm getting a little bit low on life, so I'm gonna hang tight.
You might want to throw a couple in front of the Blightsteel. I understand that.
Yeah, I'm a chill. So, that's the end of my turn. I'm worried about the Balefire Dragon. If Jimmy decides to attack me and blow up my board, the Blightsteel Colossus could just kill me in one fell swoop. But I literally have nothing I can do. I'm tapped out. The best I could do is make tokens. I did what my deck set out to do.
Okay, I'm going to untap all of my stuff and draw my card for turn. Okay, to kick things off, I'm going to play Bloodstained Mire for my graveyard because I have Raminep Excavator.
Okay.
I'm going to tap 2 mana and I will cast Persist, targeting Seedborn Muse in my graveyard.
Before that resolves, would you like to pay 1 for Ristic Study?
I will pay the 1 for the Ristic Study and float another 1 with my Soul Ring.
Okay.
So, Seedborn Muse will enter the battlefield, and it's going to enter the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter on it.
Seedborn Muse. This is bad. So, Seedborn with Jimmy's commander means he'll be able to do his thing on every player's turn. He only activated his commander so far 1 time, and it's had a huge effect on the game. So if he can do that 3 times per rotation of the table, even that's all he does, it's pretty bad.
I'm going to use 1 of that mana and another 1 to cast a Perpetual Timepiece. I will once again pay for the Ristic Study.
He's not letting you get any cards.
No, he never does.
I love this card because it does exactly what my deck wants to do. It can put cards into the graveyard consistently from my library, and with a card like Seedborn Muse out, that means I can do it on every single player's turn. That's a ton of value. I'm going to tap the Perpetual Timepiece and mill the top 2 cards of my library.
Seems kind of broken.
Mountain and a Culling Ritual.
No big creatures.
Okay, I'm gonna crack the Bloodstained Mire.
Okay.
Going to 37, I'll find a Badlands
Nice.
and put that onto the battlefield. I will tap my remaining 3 mana, and I'm going to flashback Faithless Looting from the graveyard. Josh, I can't pay the 1 for Ristic Study, so you can draw a card.
Thank you. I got 1.
I'm going to discard a Forest and a Bane of Progress.
Pain of Progress. Oh, God.
Yeah. All right, I'll go to combat.
So here's my thinking. There's 2 major threats left before I get a turn again. The Blightsteel Colossus I can block with my ground creatures. Balefire Dragon, I don't have anything flying. And if it connects, it wipes my board, so I can't let it hit me. Before combat, I will activate Bjorna, sacrificing my Clue token, and I will target the Balefire Dragon.
Okay, Balefire's Dragon is goaded. It cannot swing at Josh, but it must attack this turn.
The goaded mechanic is so annoying. It's gotta hit either me or Ned. And if he hits me, he's gonna gain a lot more life. It's gonna do a lot more damage to my board. So I'm accepting the fact that it's probably gonna hit me.
So, as it turns out, Nessa, if I do hit you, I'll wipe your entire board, and then Ned is free to just murder you with a Blightsteel Colossus. Ned, if I hit you, it'll get rid of your 2 creatures, but your Blightsteel Colossus will survive.
And you'll have made an enemy.
I'm making an enemy either way. The way I'm seeing it, that Blightsteel has to go. I have no answers for it in my hand, so having more opponents right now is actually beneficial to me. That means I gotta do a little bit of tricky maneuvering here to get it done, but I have a good idea. I think what I'm going to do here is, Ned, I don't want that Blightsteel to come at me. I'm gonna attack you, okay? It's gonna wipe out some of your stuff, but I will give you my Dockside Extortionist on your turn, and you're gonna make a ton of treasures.
Jimmy offers me this deal where he says, next turn, I'm gonna give you Dockside Extortionist, and you're gonna create all this treasure. Whatever this deal is, it's worth it. So, You give me all these treasures, let me do whatever I want. You leave my Blightsteel on the board.
And you don't attack me with it.
For 1 turn.
1 turn, yeah.
I accept.
Sweet. It's like they say, keep your friends close, but keep that Blightsteel Colossus as far away from you as possible. Okay, great, going to combat. Ned, I will swing at you in the air for 6 with Balefire Dragon. And it gets +1/+1 because of Ignoble Hierarch, so it's actually 7.
Well, I can't do anything. I'll take 7 damage.
You'll go to 30, I will gain 7 life and go to 44.
Jeez.
And then Balefire Dragon will deal 7 damage to each creature you control.
All right, so my Dockside and my Goblin Engineer are gone.
And because of Whip of Erebos, that effect has lifelink. So I will gain 21 life and go to 65.
Jeez.
Wow. When I accepted this deal, I kind of didn't really think through that he'd be at 65 life at the end of it. That's rough.
The lifelink on the Balefire there is brutal.
Now that I'm at such a commanding life total, the only thing that scares me right now is Infect, which I just protected myself against with a sweet deal. And then I will pass turn to you, Ned.
Okay, hang on. All right, so Jimmy has the deal with Ned to not get attacked by the Blightsteel. He looks to be in the most powerful position. I cannot let him be untapping all of his permanents and using them every turn. On end step, I will cast Chain of Vapor, targeting the Seedborn Muse.
This is a really good play by Josh here because he recognizes just how powerful this card is, and I don't think I can let this happen. In response, I am going to cast Deflecting Swat.
Oh no.
And I'm going to re-target. I don't want to do it to you because then you'll just target, sack a land and bounce again.
Which is what anybody who he deflects should do. The problem with Jimmy deflecting the Chain of Vapor to somebody else is they can sacrifice a land to then still bounce the Seedborn Muse.
So you know what? I think I have to target my own creature, and that way no one can keep the Chain of Vapor going.
Before that resolves, Risk Study?
I cannot pay for it, so you can draw a card. So I'm gonna deflect it to myself, and I will bounce my Ignoble Hierarch to my hand. Do I get a sack of land and keep going if I want to now?
If you would like to, you can.
I won't.
Okay.
Well, on the one hand, Jimmy still has the Seedborn Muse, but on the other hand, I still have my Blightsteel Colossus. So I think it's a win-win.
Still on your end step, I am going to cast Opt. And that's my second spell of the turn. So I will draw a card from Jorian, and I will untap Bjorna and make a clue with Elmar.
Ooh, very nice.
I can still protect myself from that Blightsteel. And then Opt will resolve. I'll scry 1, put it on the bottom, and I will draw a card. All right, I tried. So the Chain of Vapor didn't resolve. Obviously, I'd rather have the Seedborn Muse gone, but I'm able to reset my Bjorna, and now I have an answer to that Blightsteel. Thank God, because next turn is gonna be bad.
Wow, that felt like a lifetime, but it is finally my turn again, so I will untap.
When you untap, I will untap all my permanents because of Seedborn Muse.
And then I'll draw my card.
And then during your draw phase, I made you a promise, so I'm gonna tap my Beamtown Bullies and send you over a Dockside Extortionist.
Pay up.
How many treasures do I get?
You're gonna make 7 treasures.
7 treasures.
Wow, this changes everything. So
In this town, your fortunes can change just like that. Yeah, see?
You're a split second away from being a star, kid. This is huge. Jimmy kept his end of the bargain and gave me free treasures. I'm rich. Bunker down because storms are coming. Jolene likes to arrive to the party late and she likes to crash it. But before she comes in, I'm gonna reveal my hideaway card from the Mosswort Bridge.
Ooh.
I'm gonna tap 2 and play it. It is Blasphemous Act.
Wow. Wow.
The card that was hidden this entire time was a Blasphemous Act.
This is basically like the perfect card that Ned could have under there, right?
My only worthwhile creature is indestructible.
It's not gonna die to this 13 damage. But guess what? Every other creature is.
I'm gonna get to take somebody out of the game.
Okay, hold on. It's on the stack now. Do you pay for Risk Study?
I won't pay.
I will draw. Okay. So this is just brutal. it is gonna allow him to take somebody out. Luckily, I don't have to worry about any of this right now because I can do something before the Blasphemous Act resolves. I have a response.
Okay.
I'm gonna tap Bjorna, sacrifice my clue token, and I will target the Blightsteel Colossus to deal 1 damage, but most importantly, to goad it. So at least I won't die this turn.
I'm scared.
You should be. You screwed me over in the very beginning.
Goodness.
Josh, I literally can't hit him. I'm goaded. I have to attack, so it's either Nessa or Jimmy. I promised Jimmy I wouldn't attack him, and Nessa screwed me over.
In response, I will tap my Perpetual Timepiece, mill 2 cards off the top of my library. It's a Deathrite Shaman and a Boseiju. Okay, yeah, I guess it is going to resolve.
So since my Blightsteel's indestructible, it's the only thing that's gonna live and everything else will die.
My children are gone. So now his Blightsteel can get through and it can only come at me. So I'm accepting the fact that I am about to die.
Okay, so I wipe the board. I have a plan of who I'm gonna take out. Now I get to play some creatures and start my strategy. Because you gotta spend money to make money, baby. It's time. I'm gonna sacrifice 4 treasures and bring in Jolene, 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 Jolene.
I know that death is imminent, and I see Jolene come down, and you know what? That's a song I can get behind. Jolene.
Jolene,
Jolene.
Jolene.
You're nothing compared to Blightsteel Colossus, though.
I have to ask you, Ned, when you cast your commander, do you want to pay 1 for Ristic Steady or can I draw?
No, baby, you can draw all the cards you want.
Thank you.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe this is a bad idea. And that's not all. We're gonna do 3 more and bring in Zorn.
Oh, crap.
Okay, so I got Jolene. I got Zorn, which is basically the same thing as Jolene. And now, anytime I make a treasure, I'm gonna make 3 treasures. Yeah.
Ristic Steady again?
Nope.
Okay.
And then I'll play Strike It Rich now that I got my bonuses up. I'll create 1 treasure token,
But you're actually making 3?
but I'm actually making 3.
It's a ritual!
This is what we call new money.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ristic on the Strike It Rich?
I will pay 1. You won't get your card.
This is where we draw the line at your 14th card. No more. Got it.
Then I'm going to activate the Encore ability of my Impulsive Pilferer,
Oh.
which exiles it from the graveyard, and for each opponent creates a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn.
Yeah.
They gain haste.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Nessa, I'm sorry. My attacks are Blightsteel Colossus to you, and then one of these to everyone else.
My commander and my cats trusted me to help them multiply and win, but it's not gonna happen today. I'm very sad and I'm accepting defeat.
On my attack trigger, I create a treasure, and then another treasure from Jolene. Another treasure from Zorn.
Jeez.
Okay, go to blocks.
Oh, nobody has any blockers.
Yeah, no.
No.
All right, I take 1.
I will take 1 damage and go to 64.
And I take over 10 infect damage. And Jolene takes my man. And then I died to Blightsteel Colossus. No!
Actually, no, maybe that was a little extreme. I feel kind of bad now.
So, Nessa's now gone. Rip Nessa. We are now down to 3 players, and only one of those players has an active Blightsteel Colossus.
All right, now before my end step, since I've done 7 or more damage, I will activate this and play for free my Parallel Lives.
Oh, snap.
Oh.
Now it's time for my second hideaway, which is going to double all of the treasure I'm already making. So now instead of 1 becoming 3, 1 is going to become 6.
Real quick, before that resolves, Ristic Steady?
Yeah, I'll pay for it.
Okay, you can afford it. Okay, so we go to end step.
These all die.
All those goblins die. And then when they die, you make how many treasures at?
With Jolene, Zorn, and Parallel Lives, I'll make 6, 12, 18 treasures. Oh, yes, treasure.
I have to admit, I think this is all kind of my fault. I gave him that Blightsteel, and then I gave him a bunch of treasures, and now look what it's happened. I made Ned into a monster.
I feel hopelessly outgunned all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
You know, the best stories have changed. Someone exhibits growth. I went from down in the dumps to feeling like I had a chance to now I feel unstoppable.
That's it.
All right, I will untap. I will draw for turn. All right, I'm gonna start by tapping 4, and I will bring Bjorna back out.
Sure.
The Blightsteel is so scary that I feel like I have to have Bjorna on the battlefield and ready to activate. Don't forget, Anger's in my graveyard, so she does have haste. And then I will cast Kelpie Guide!
Kelpie Guide! Yay!
He's back. This card is gonna be good because Bjorna can basically be activated twice. If I can get to enough lands, it can start being kind of a pseudo removal spell. Tapping down the Blightsteel before can even attack. But right now I've only got 6, so it's a couple more turns until that part's active. Hopefully I can last that long. And that'll do it. I'll pass the turn.
At the end of your turn, Josh, I'm gonna pay 2 and activate the second ability from Perpetual Timepiece. So I will exile this and I will shuffle any number of cards from my graveyard back into my library. We got a Culling Ritual, Persist, Jessica's Will, Wheel of Fortune, Animate Dead, Deflect, and Swat. While I could be milling stuff into the graveyard, that requires my commander to be out or for me to have cards in my hand that can grab them. And I think if I shuffle these cards back into my library, it's gonna give me the best chance at drawing something that can dig me out of this situation.
Culling Ritual would be good.
I got other ways. I still have a Bane of Progress in my graveyard too, and Whip of Erebos.
Oh.
So Jimmy has a way of bringing back his Bane of Progress, which could kill all of my treasures. I'd really like to keep them. You know, I just got this money. I'm not trying to give it back.
Okay, I am going to play Krosan Grip
Oh,
and destroy your Whip of Erebos.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Oh, this is so bad. Without that Whip of Erebos on the table, I can't play anything out of my graveyard anymore. All of my hopes and dreams are just being wiped out in a single turn rotation.
Would you like to pay for Ristic Study?
Fine.
Okay. And then I have way too many cards, so I'll discard 5 lands.
Okay.
And then Jimmy,
Yeah?
hope you can save us. Go.
Hope I can. I am in just an awful situation right now. I'm facing down a consistently goated Blightsteel Colossus. I don't have any of my combo pieces left, and I just gotta hope that whatever comes off the top of my library can save my butt. Untap, and I will draw my card for turn.
Okay.
Well, he didn't hate it.
He's counting.
Yeah, he went into like,
He's counting.
Stop talking, I'm thinking
Oh
about it.
no.
So Jimmy is in his mind palace right now. He's in thinking mode. How is he gonna deal with my Blightsteel Colossus? How is he going to take out all of my stuff? I'm a little worried.
Okay, I'm going to tap 3 mana, and I'm going to cast Felden of the Third Path.
Oh.
I don't have Whip of Erebos anymore, but this card does basically the same thing. It allows me to rebuy creatures from my graveyard, so at the very least, I should be able to generate some blockers to stop that Blightsteel. That thing still has Indestructible, and I have no way of getting rid of it.
Ristic Study trigger?
You can draw a card, Josh, as
Thank
long as you
you.
promise to use it against Ned and not me.
No promises made. You pay or you don't pay.
And then I will tap 3 and use Felden of the Third Path. Remember, I still have Anger in my graveyard, so Felden does have haste. I will target Dockside Extortionist and make a token copy of it.
Pay up.
Okay.
When it enters the battlefield, I'm gonna create X treasure tokens where X is the number of artifacts and enchantments my opponents control. So Ned, you have the choice now. You can sack all your treasures, otherwise I get as many as that, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see this coming. He has brought back Dockside Extortionist. Now I've got a choice to make. Am I gonna just let him have all the treasures that I have? What Jimmy fails to realize is I can sacrifice a bunch of treasures right now and put those counters on Jolene, which is what I was planning on doing my next turn anyways.
I don't think I can let you do that. So I'm gonna sacrifice them with Jolene's ability that will give her counters.
I forgot she could do that. I know.
And that puts 15 +1/+1 counters on her.
So it's great that Ned sacks all his treasures here so that Jimmy doesn't get as many treasures. However, the bad news is that Jolene gets really, really huge. And with just one more activation, she will be a second lethal threat in addition to the Blightsteel Colossus because of commander damage. My deck's good at goading one thing, not necessarily multiple things, so the more lethal that Ned has, the worse it gets for me.
Well, I'm gonna make 5 treasures.
So with the Feldon and everything, you're only down 1 mana on all that.
Yeah, not too bad. So I will go to combat. And Ned, I will swing at you with my Dockside Extortionist for 1. Before blocks, I'm gonna cast Benefactor's Draft.
Pretty good.
Ristic Steady, I will not pay.
Okay. In response to that, I'm gonna tap my Kelpie Guide.
Nice.
And I'm going to untap my Breeding Pool.
Nice. All right, all creatures untap.
Okay.
And then I draw a card when this resolves.
Okay, go to blocks.
I can take 1 damage, I'm just not gonna block. I go to 29.
Okay. I'm going to crack 2 of my treasures, and I will cast Mage Right's Stone. And I will not pay for Ristic Study, so Josh, you can go ahead and draw a card.
You're doing stuff I like to do. So Jimmy, impressively, is able to kind of pivot into like a tap-untap strategy all of a sudden. He played a card that untaps his creatures, and now he's got a Mage Right Stone to untap Feldon. This is pretty cool. I mean, I'm the untap deck, Jimmy, so maybe it's not cool. Why are you stealing my idea?
I'll go to my end step. The copy of Dockside will get sacrificed. And on my end step, I'm going to pay the rest of my treasures and activate Feldon of the Third Path one last time. And I'm going to choose my Seedborn Muse from my graveyard.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Because of the way that Feldon's ability is worded, if I bring up the Seedborn Muse on my end step, it actually lasts the entire turn cycle until the end of Ned's turn. That means I'm gonna be able to get any effects from the Seedborn Muse before it goes away. Most importantly, it means I can untap all of my permanents one last time and hopefully hold on just by a thread. And then pass the turn to you, Ned.
Okay, well, my turn. Gonna untap.
All right, when you untap, I will untap as well.
And then I will go to my draw step. Okay, so to start, no matter what I'm gonna do flashback on Strike It Rich.
Okay.
So that gets exiled, and I create 6 treasure tokens.
Ristic Study trigger.
Yeah, I'll pay for it. And then I will cast Captain Lannery Storm.
Oh.
I love her.
Lannery's gonna be great because if I sacrifice all these treasures to buff up Jolene, it buffs up Lannery. So now I got my Blightsteel, I got Jolene, and I got Lannery. I could potentially come in with 3 near lethal threats.
Ristic Study trigger.
Yeah, I'll pay.
Okay.
And I'll pay 2 to bring in Renzo Havoc Razor.
Sure.
Ristic trigger.
I'll pay. And now, since I've sacrificed 3 treasures since Lannery Storm's been out, she's now a 5/2.
Yikes.
So this is a big turn. Ned has a few cards in his hand, is obviously very scary on the board. I think it's time to make him an offer he can't refuse.
If I might, have a second of time.
Oh my god.
Here we go.
If you don't attack me this turn,
I can make Blightsteel unblockable.
Unblockable? How?
Oh, really?
I know that I probably still look like the biggest threat on the board. I've got the most life and I have my combo pieces going, but I'm hoping that Ned's watched enough game nights to know that Josh Lee Kwai is the real threat. You could literally kill Josh, right? Because he's at 25 and
No, I got blockers.
He's got blockers, but I'm just saying you have now a much better ability to kill more than one person.
I don't think you can kill either person by yourself right now. Right?
Not without significant evasion.
Yeah, which I have. So this gives you the avenue to at least knocking out one player.
Josh is trying to persuade me that if I don't attack him, he will let the Blightsteel come in unblockable at Jimmy, which is attractive, but I think he might want to take out Jimmy anyways. So this time I take no deal. I'm attacking them both. No deal.
You know, I accepted one deal and it really it hurt.
It worked out so bad for you.
It still might be in your best interest to take Jimmy out of the game.
it's possible.
So after all this convincing, Ned makes a very shrewd play here and decides not to take any deals with anyone. And he's just gonna do what he's gonna do and see what we can do to stop it. That whole idea about an offer that you cannot refuse, turns out you could refuse it.
I'm going to go to attack.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
Before attacks, I will activate Bjorna. I will sacrifice my Basilisk Collar. And I will target the Blightsteel Colossus.
So I have to attack Jimmy with the Blightsteel Claw.
Correct.
Okay, now that Josh tapped his commander, I'm gonna attack him with Lannery and Jolene. He can only deal with one of them.
All right, I'm gonna declare attackers like this. Blightsteel to Jimmy. Jolene and Lannery Storm will go to Josh. I'll make 12 treasure, 6 from Jolene's ability and 6 from Lannery Storm.
Jeez. Jeez.
And you have 14 treasure now? All right, so it's pretty bad. I can't let Jolene hit me because then I'll die to commander damage. I mean, it's not big enough right now, but he could just sack the treasures and make that happen. Luckily, I still have a couple of tricks left up my sleeve. Before blocks, I'm gonna cast Noxious Revival. I will pay the 2 life. And I will take Snap from my graveyard and put it on top of my library. Then, still before blocks, I'm gonna cast Shadow Rift, targeting the Blightsteel Colossus. You can only block with creatures that have shadow.
Really? There's no other way to block it?
Yep.
Ooh. Oh, this is so bad for me. I have no way of interacting with this spell or the Blightsteel Colossus. I'm just going to die to this weird form of unblockable. Josh Lee Kwai, would you do this to me, man? Why does Blightsteel have to be indestructible?
And I also draw a card because that's what Shadow Rift says. So Ned was right. I was always going to do this because my chances are definitely not that great if Jimmy's still around. It's a small chance, I think, at this point, but it is a chance. Go to blockers? Okay. I will block Captain Lannery Storm with my Kelpie Guide. Jimmy, blocks?
I have no blocks.
All right, before damage, I am going to tap Kelpie Guide.
Oh no.
And I will untap my Soul Ring.
Not bad.
And then, I still have 1 colorless floating. I will play Snap, targeting Jolene.
Okay.
All right, and I will untap 2 of my lands.
This does kind of stink. I did lose a lot of counters. But, you know, I still have my Blightsteel, and I still can take a player out of the game.
All right, go to damage.
Josh just completely ends my game here, and he's not even the one attacking me, so you know what? You mess with the bully, you get the horns. Before damage, on the way out, I will cast Assassin's Trophy, paying for the Ristic Study, and I will destroy Josh's commander.
All right, Bjorna will die, and I will search my library to find an island, and I'll put that onto the battlefield. So Jimmy, out of spite, kills my commander, but it doesn't matter because Goad is not very good when you're down to 2 players. So getting the land is almost just as good as having my commander out, honestly. All right, now we go to damage?
Now we go to damage.
All right, I have a 2/2 blocking your 5/2. So they trade?
Yep.
Okay, both die.
And I will die.
To infect?
To infect.
Where's Craig?
Let me check what time it is. Ah, yes. Time to die.
Okay, so Jimmy dies and now it's just down to me and Josh. Josh went through a ton of hoops just to bounce my Jolene. You'd think that if he had easy removal, he would have done it. I'm feeling pretty good about my chances.
All right, well, on my second main phase, I'll play Idol of Oblivion.
Oh, you can draw a card right now.
Okay. This is actually quite bad because this will draw him cards. Also, because of Parallel Lives, it'll make him 2 10/10s. So either one of those are kind of gonna kill me. Ristic Study?
You can take the card.
Okay.
And then also second main phase, I'll bring Jolene back from my hand.
Nice.
And I am not going to pay for Ristic Study because I like the option of 2 10/10 creature tokens. All right, I'm all done. I'll pass my turn.
How do I not die to Blightsteel? This sucks. All right, so Ned's got a lethal Blightsteel Colossus. He can make 2 10/10s in instant speed. He has his commander who he can probably pump to be lethal. And I have nothing in my hand to answer any of this. So I gotta get a new hand. On your end step, I'm going to cast Tolarian Winds in honor of our good friend.
Wow.
And I have 9 cards that I'm discarding, so I'll draw 9.
Okay, this is huge. Clearly, Josh got nothing. He's drawing 9 new cards because nothing in his 9 cards is gonna help him against what I've got. This is great. Although, what if he draws something good?
This is pretty good, right? That's a lot of chances to hit a Cyclonic Rift or some other kind of board wipe. I feel like if I do that, I'm right back in it. Unfortunately, off the Tolarian Winds, I don't get anything that's gonna save me, so I'm gonna have to keep casting in here and hope I find something pretty fast. All right, still on your end step, I'm gonna tap a green, I'm gonna Nature's Claim the Parallel Lives.
In response, I'll activate my Idol of Oblivion and create 2 10/10 Eldrazi creature tokens.
Okay, and now you're out of treasure?
Yep. And Parallel Lives dies.
You gain 4.
Sweet.
Might matter. Well, it's gonna take a miracle. I will untap and I will draw.
Cyclonic Rift.
It's in the deck, but I don't have it. All right, I'm gonna start by tapping 4, and I'm gonna play Storm Kiln Artist.
It's shockingly beautiful!
Combo.
Then I'm gonna tap 3, and I'm gonna play Min Wily Illusionist.
Sure.
So Min, I'm not gonna get a lot of use out of her, but I will create more creatures, which I need because I need more blockers. I'm just deploying her here to try and stay alive. Then I'm gonna pay 2, and I'm gonna cast Thrill of Possibility. I will discard Bootlegger's Stash. On cast, I will make a treasure token because of Storm Kiln Artist.
Nice.
Then I will draw 2. Since I have drawn my second card in the turn, I will make an illusion with Min. Right now it's a 1/1, and then I'll hope I can somehow survive. I'll pass the turn.
Okay, so there's good news and bad news. Good news is he didn't really have any big creatures or big spells and just put out a bunch of small stuff. Bad news is now he has blockers and I can't kill him, but still, I'd rather be in my position than his. Okay, I'll untap and then I'll draw. I don't really have anything that's gonna help me in this pre-combat main phase, so I will go to attack and I'll attack you like this.
Just those 3.
On attacks, you're gonna get some treasures.
That's right, I get 3 treasures.
Okay, before blocks, I will sack my treasure to cast Reach Through Mists, which will trigger Storm Kiln Artist, so I'll get a treasure back.
Okay.
I will draw a card. Really need that to be a cantrip. And then I will go to blocks. What's the most important thing to keep?
Your hair.
All right, I'm gonna block the Blightsteel with Min and one of the Eldrazi with the Illusion token. Go to damage?
Yes.
Okay. The Illusion token will die. When it dies, I will put a 0 mana permanent from my hand into play, which is a land. And then I'll take 10 damage from the unblocked Eldrazi, going to 13. And then Min will die, and I'll still take 8 infect because of the trample.
And so you've taken damage twice, so Grenzo triggers twice. So I'm gonna take 2 cards off of your library and potentially cast them.
Interesting.
So with Grenzo, I get 2 of his cards, and one of them, I get to draw another one of my cards. Let's find out what it is. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cast that Curate I grabbed. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. I'm gonna put the Force in the graveyard. I'm gonna put this on the top of my library, and then I'll draw it.
Ristic Study?
Yeah, I guess I will pay.
Okay.
And I just drew Duretti Scrapped Savant.
Oh my goodness.
Are you gonna pay for Ristic Study for that one?
I will pay. There's a lot of stuff this card can do, but the one I care about is I can immediately bring back the nastiest artifact card in my graveyard directly to the battlefield. You may remember that one big bad artifact that I put there earlier in the game. Okay, with Duretti, I'll activate his -2 ability, sacrifice this last treasure.
Oh boy.
And bring in my Phyrexian Triniform.
Not treasure map?
You know, tempting.
So this is bad. It's more huge creatures on Ned's side of the board, but it doesn't change much calculus for me. I need the same thing I needed before. Board wipe or bust.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'm trying to think of what I can draw here. I can think of only one card in my whole deck, so here we go. And I look at the top card of my library and nothing. Doesn't help me. That was not that card, because that card is a land. You got it, Ned. And then I guess Josh Lee Kwai sleeps with the fishes. Forget about it.
And then I trampled, infected, and plundered my way to victory. Jolene has taken the W.
Wow, this was such an explosive game. It was really interesting to see my decision to give Josh that Bulwer Heavyweights completely tilted it in someone else's favor.
Ned was just knocked so far down, but no matter how down and out you think you are in a game of Commander, it ain't over until it's over.
I feel like Streets of New Capenna is really flavorful.
The story is fascinating too, with these 5 competing families.
I'm really drawn to the Cabaretti. They have a lot of cats, so I vibe with that.
As far as a theme transition translating into a magic set. This is unprecedented. I think it's super cool.
I know that longtime Commander players and brand new players are gonna have a blast when it comes to this set.
Today was really fun because all three guys are really awesome, and even though I stirred up trouble and it seemed like I made enemies in the game, I actually made 3 new friends today.
Here at game nights, we're like a family. When you're here, you're family.